Sam and Nathan Drake, orphan brothers, are apprehended in an attempt to steal a map from a Boston museum after a Magellan expedition. But before they got caught, in this scene we get to see Sam question his brother's knowledge. Without hesitation, Nate gave his reply, saying the question was too easy. He was the first man to sail around the world, but he never made it all the way around, he just took the credit. Sam corrected his brother as he moved on to the real deal of the day. The first map of the whole world, Sam said. Nate watches as his brother tries to escape their home, but before doing that, he guarantees Nate he'll surely return, leaving him with a ring that previously belonged to their ancestor, Sir Francis Drake. Now, 15 years later, Nate works as a bartender in New York City, where he meets a man named Victor Sullivan, a treasure hunter who previously worked with Nate's brother. Sully goes ahead to tell Nate that his brother went missing after assisting him in stealing one of Sebastian Elcano's diaries. He's trying to convince Nate that the map he has is indeed real and not fake. Meanwhile, Nate, who's suddenly in the mood for some adventure, hasn't really received any recent postcards from Sam. He and Sully then came up with a plan. They both attended an auction in order to steal a golden cross associated with the Magellan crew. In that auction, they come across a man named Santiago Moncada, the last descendant of the Moncada family, and Joe Braddock, the leader of Moncada's mercenaries. While the bidding for the cross continues, Sully tries spending money he clearly doesn't have, and a well-laid-out distraction goes wrong as Nate gets himself caught by one of Moncada's boys. Honestly speaking, what else could possibly go wrong? Anyways, in order to secure the briefcase before it fell into the wrong hands, Sully had to improvise, as he's seen leaving the scene with the briefcase. Later, the team heads to Barcelona, where the treasure is probably covered up. Victor Sullivan links up with his contact, Chloe Fraser, who has one more cross with her. Still in search of the hidden treasure, they all end up tracking down a mysterious tomb behind the special raised area. But what they didn't know was the tomb was laced with booby traps. Nate and Chloe enter, leaving Sully outside to assist them. It didn't take long for Nate to notice Braddock's men from afar. Nate defends himself as he and Chloe both exit the building. Without stopping, they kept following the clues until Nate realized the only way to solve the next piece of the puzzle and open the second door was to join the two crosses together. Inside, Nate found a guide hidden in a jar showing that the real treasure was in the Philippines. This is where things get interesting. Chloe double-crosses Nate, pulls a gun on him. She requested for the guide and the keys, which were later passed on to Moncada. But before doing that, she knew Nate didn't know the full truth of what transpired between Sam and Sully. In order to let the cat out of the bag, she told him to ask his beloved partner, Sully, about Sam's disappearance. Nate, out of curiosity, he confronts Sully. Sully clarified for him, explaining that Sam never ghosted him. He was killed by Braddock and her mercenaries, and there was nothing he could do about it. It turns out Santiago Moncada employed Joe Braddock and Chloe Fraser on the same day. Joe Braddock was obviously unaware of this. At this point, Nate must have been exhausted, but he can't stop now. He must finish what his brother started. So he and Sully hid and waited in Moncada's trunk. Moments later, Braddock is seen eliminating Moncada, seizing control, and keeping the guild and the keys Chloe stole for herself. Without wasting time, the boys come out of hiding and find Moncada's body. Now Sully's plan was to escape with the map. But as soon as Nate saw Braddock, he was unable to control his rage, and he confronted the mercenary over his brother's death. Nate then released the cargo, resulting in complete anarchy. What was he even thinking? He was thrown off the plane, but he survived with the help of a falling cargo. As he gets back up, Moncada's falling car, which had Chloe in the driver's seat, hits him once more. The two managed to survive the fall. They came across a tourist island, where they checked into a hotel room. They both spent the night together trying to make sense of what Sam had left behind. Chloe retired for the night, leaving Nate, who remained persistent and kept digging until he figured it out. Nevertheless, with the previous information he had gathered, he left Chloe with phony coordinates because he had reasons to question her allegiance. On an island in Cala de Oro, Braddock's crew is seen scouting the area for the lost ship, with Nate allowing his compass to lead the way. He finds a cave, swims across to the other side, and is now faced with the two lost ships. Now, I don't know about you, but seeing all that treasure in there, I for sure have a few ideas of what I'll do with it. And besides, why am I not even surprised to see Sully present? Anyway, Nate turned around in shock as Sully greeted him. Sully further explains how he was able to track him down with the number of apps Nate had opened on his phone. He doesn't seem too happy about it. But seriously, who leaves that many apps open? Moving on to the next scene, we can see the two boys hiding again as Braddock and her men search the ship. Her crew airlifts. Obviously Nate and Sully wasn't just gonna sit and watch while their treasure floats away. The boys are caught sneaking out of their hiding spot and are forced to battle their way to gain control over the ship. I can't count the number of people being thrown off in this movie. I've lost count. Sully failed to prove me wrong. Braddock directs another helicopter to pursue him as he flees, leaving Nate to fight off her mercenaries. With a weapon found on the ship, Nate brings down the second helicopter. A fight engulfs between Braddock and Nate as he tries to flee the falling ship. Nate calls out to Sully for help and Sully, seeing definitely didn't want to be the bad guy, had to save Nate. Sully's decision was clear. He chose to save Nate, and despite everything, he threw his bag of gold at Braddock, plunging her into the sea. The helicopter couldn't hold that much weight any longer. Nate jumps, trusting that Sully won't watch him fall. The ship follows, landing right on top of her. Well, the movie didn't tell us if she survived. But my best guess is she didn't. Oh. I almost forgot about Chloe. It took her way too long to realize she had been misled. Now for the last scene. It should serve as a quick reminder to always have some gold hidden away somewhere, anywhere, just in case someone like Sully decides to throw yours away. So guys, that's it for today's video. Please, if you love this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell. Leave a comment letting us know what videos you'd like to see next.